Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while, but welcome back to the Sports Wire. The reason that we've been MIA for a bit is because this guy over here, I don't know if you can tell by the shirt. Andrew, where were you?
I was at Costa Rica for a week. I was gone. I was away. It's been
it
a sec, but we're back.
Was it a good time?
Oh, it was a great time.
One thing I'm noticing is you didn't even get any tan while you were there.
Oh, man.
Were you just like staying indoors? Like what happened?
Why you
there?
gotta say that, man?
Sorry.
Well, no, it's rainy season there, so the sun
okay.
sun wasn't really out there.
The sun wasn't shining, so
It was a blast, though,
but-
dude. It was so much fun.
yeah. During our prep today, though, Andrew, we're gonna have a bit of a wonky show today.
Yeah, we are.
Usually we have like 6 segments, but a lot has happened since we haven't been here, so we're gonna have 2 segments today.
Two. That's
We're
it.
just gonna do a lot, and when I say a lot, you're in for a lot to sum it up.
Yeah.
And then we're obviously gonna get to everybody's favorite on the clock afterwards. But let's go right into sum it up right now. No cut. We're just gonna jump right into
Let's
it.
get right into it.
So first thing we gotta cover, obviously, you can see by my shirt, Oklahoma City Thunder are the 2025 NBA champions. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins both Western Conference Finals MVP and he wins NBA Finals MVP on top of regular season MVP, capping off one of the best individual seasons we've seen in recent memory in the NBA. So congrats to Shai on winning the NBA championship and Finals MVP. Give it up for Shai.
Congrats to Shai and the Thunder.
Yep. So, but there was one thing that unfortunately came out of this, which kind of sucks, is Tyrese Haliburton is very likely going to miss the entire year next year with a torn Achilles. We saw that happen in the first quarter of Game 7, which he was already cooking, by the way. He had already had 9 points within like 9 minutes. Tried to go downhill to the left, and his calf just shook, and we knew what happened from there because we'd seen it 2 times already.
I mean, I was excited for the Thunder to win, but I think we were on pace for not exactly Cavs-Warriors Game 7, but we were on pace for a down-to-the-wire Game 7
Easily.
that was going to end in the final second. So we could have seen a hero in either Haliburton or SGA, and obviously SGA kind of took on the form of a hero, winning every MVP imaginable except for the All-Star, but
Yep.
which was rigged, by the way.
Yeah, that was rigged, but that's a topic for another day.
But yeah, fun series, first Game 7 series in years, so if you can't complain about the series from the viewership perspective,
Yep.
fun series to watch. Halliburton going down, man, that hurts.
That hurt
That
really
hurts.
because I saw so many accounts on Twitter saying like Tyrese was really about to drop 40, like, and they're not even lying. He really was.
And it also just stinks that we're not going to get him for next year.
Yep.
I mean, the East right now is just
Wide
garbage.
open.
Wide open. The 3 number zeros went down with a torn ACL from the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, dude. I mean, when you see the calf shake, you know it's game over.
So just terrible. That was sad to see. But congrats to the Thunder.
Yep,
Congrats
yeah.
to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
This
And
is
congrats to Jalen Williams, who recently just had a successful wrist surgery.
Yep.
So he'll be back for the start of the season. It's not going to affect him at all.
One other thing. This is the 7th year in a row now, I think, of a different NBA champion since 2019. I want to say
Since the Warriors.
since the Raptors.
Well, yeah, but I mean since the Warriors repeated.
Yeah. So it's gone
Raptors, and then after that.
Raptors, Lakers, Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics, and now the Thunder.
Yep,
So that's 7
straight.
different championships. So the way Adam Silver's doing what he wants, I guess, because in David Stern's whole tenure with as NBA commissioner, do you know how many different teams won a championship?
I think it was also 7, right? Or was it like 8? Yeah,
In
I saw
Adam's-
this
in
post.
Adam Silver's tenure as the commissioner, 9 teams have already won.
And that's in like
And it's only been
13,
like 13 years.
Yeah.
So I don't like the second apron. We're going to get into why we don't like that really soon. But the very first offseason move that happened after the championship was won, Kevin Durant was traded again. It's the 3rd time in, I think, 5 years now Kevin Durant has been traded.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant was traded from the Phoenix Suns to the Houston Rockets for Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, the 10th round pick in this year's draft, and 5 second-round picks. Andrew, is this an overpay, underpay? Is this the right price for KD? What do we think?
I think the Rockets severely overpaid, and I also think the Rockets gave up way too much. So I think the Suns won the deal, but a part of the Suns deal we'll get into later is something I didn't really like. But, yeah, the Rockets traded Dylan Brooks, which I'm okay with. Jalen Green, I think, is a stud, even though he hasn't really been the playoff player everyone's
He's an
hoping
inconsistent
for him.
stud. He's a regular season
He
type
could
of guy.
become a stud. He's still young. He's got time to develop.
I do think, though, Houston just already got their replacement for Dylan Brooks, who's less controversial, in signing Dorian Finney-Smith yesterday
That was a good
from free
signing.
agency. I think that's going to be a good replacement for them. But
In my opinion, I think it's almost like a trap. It's like the big name trap. Like teams do it all the time. It's happened with KD 3 times. Happens with Harden all the time. Happens with Kyrie. they're not going to win. The Rockets are not going to win at all. They'll be a 5 seed and they'll lose in the first or second round.
I don't know. We're
But
gonna
they'll get viewership because Durant's playing there.
We've got a lot of.
They're not going to win.
We've got a lot of signings to cover, and I think the Rockets are the number 1 and number 2 right now on winning free agency in the offseason.
For sure.
I think it's a toss-up between them and Atlanta right now.
The Rockets have had a good free agency. But
so after that, we had another trade before everything hit. This one kind of hurt. But Drew Holiday was traded from the Boston Celtics to the Portland Trail Blazers for Anthony Simons and 2 second-round picks. Andrew, me and you were obviously still in Costa Rica when this happened, but, I mean, what was going through your head when you saw that this happened?
It sucks to see Drew Holiday leave. He won a ship with us. He's an absolute dog. He's got dog mentality. You love a guy like Drew on your team. You hate him when he's not on your team. Mm-hmm. But we absolutely fleeced the Trailblazers. Celtics won that deal by a landslide. I don't think it's close. Drew Holiday's 35. Anthony Simons is 26. And Simons averaged 20 points per game last year. I think. And then we got 2 second-rounders on top of it. I mean, the trade isn't even close.
I think the only thing that needs to happen is Simons obviously needs to become a better defender. And I think the Celtics traded away the best guy that can help him with that. But I think Derek White's going to still be pretty helpful there. Jaylen Brown's going to be really helpful in getting him in, like, the right defensive mindset. But, yeah, it sucks to see Drew go. Drew, it was an awesome 2 years, man. Like, me and Andrew will always love you. If I ever see you in Boston, I'll buy you a cup of coffee and, like, a bagel from Dunkin' Donuts if you want.
Love it. Love it.
Then after that, we got the president of the NBPA getting what he deserves for agreeing to that stupid CBA that involves a second apron, which caused the Celtics collapse to happen, and it's going to cause collapses for many teams to happen, Andrew. But C.J. McCollum and Kelly Olynyk were banished to the shadow realm of Washington, D.C. in exchange for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and I believe a second-round pick, I want to say?
Yes, yep.
So not much to say here. This is just like swapping mid for mid.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love Kelly Olynyk, but
I wonder if we see like a research of Jordan Poole. Maybe that gave him the spark he needed. He got out of the worst franchise in basketball. I mean, he's not out of a great franchise, but it's better than Washington. Mm-hmm. And the city of New Orleans has energy. It's got hype around it. And the Pelicans are right behind the Hawks and Wizards for the best free agency.
Yeah, the
Pelicans have been cooking.
In the offseason.
So I'm wondering maybe Poole and Zion, both of them together, get out of both of their slumps and just become awesome together. Hopefully,
really
that'd
nice
be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
If the Pelicans could if they could get some studs next year, that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah. The thing I'm most excited about this is C.J. McCollum getting sent to the shadow realm. I think I speak for all NBA fans. I know I'm speaking for Andrew when I say this. Andrew, your opinion on C.J. McCollum is?
Oh, I liked him in Portland, but it's gone downhill ever since. I mean,
yeah. When he became president of the NBPA, just downhill. Don't agree to that CBA. How much longer is that CBA intact for? 9 more years?
Something crazy.
It's gonna be awful.
Won't end anytime soon. And
when my kid asks me what a second apron is,
when it ends, I think we're gonna be pushing 30. We'll be pushing 30 when it ends. So.
I think we'll be grateful when it ends.
That's all you need to know.
Then the real heartbreaker trade is next. 3-team deal between the Boston Celtics, the Atlanta Hawks, and the Brooklyn Nets. Atlanta acquires Kristaps Porzingis and a second-round pick. The Brooklyn Nets acquire Trey Mann and Atlanta's first-round pick. And the Boston Celtics get a second-round pick and Georges Niang. My least favorite player in the entire league.
Tyler's not fond of
Georges Niang. Georges Niang tried to injure Jaylen Brown, and then Jason Tatum put him in the graveyard that we witnessed. But, Andrew, I need to know what you felt about this trade.
I mean, I wasn't as happy about it as the Drew trade. It was really just a salary dump. That's all it was. So I was okay with it. It sucks to see Porzingis leave, but the amount of emotions Porzingis put me through this year with being healthy, being hurt, being sick, being hurt and sick, being healthy but not playing, like, it was just something I didn't really want on the Celtics. So I guess I'm okay with him leaving. Again, like, we got our championship.
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking at it. Like, losing Drew sucks. Mm-hmm. Losing Porzingis sucks. But they're both a part of the championship team. They'll both value that forever. That's both what they'll probably both be known for once their careers are over. So I think I'm okay with it. I mean,
Porzingis, he's going to get Isaiah Thomas level treatment in Boston, I think, from the fans at least, just because of how much he embraced everybody around him and how, like, involved he would get at games with people in the crowd. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then the Nets had a decent part in this deal. They got Terrence Mann. They got the number 22 pick.
Oh, I think they got Trey Mann, not Terrence Mann. Was it Terrence Mann?
It
or
was
was
Terrence
it
Mann,
was
I
Terrence
believe.
Mann?
It
I
was-
was thinking it said Trey Mann. That's weird.
I think it was Terrence Mann in the 22 pick in this year's draft. Nets had 5 picks in this year's draft,
Kept all of them.
and they spent 4 of them on guard. We'll get into that part later.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
losing Porzingis sucks. The Hawks are starting to look not 41-41 for
yeah,
the first
they're
time
starting
in
to
years.
look,
So
look might not make the play in this year, which would be.
right now the Hawks
Very
are the
good for
Red
them.
Sox of the NBA. So if the Hawks could give Trae Young some help, go to the playoffs, do what they did in 2021, that would be awesome for everyone to watch, including myself. I'm a big Trae Young fan myself.
Mm-hmm.
But losing Porzingis sucks. But I mean, salary dump, I'm all right with it.
So now we're gonna get into an extension here. So Kyrie Irving declined his player option with the Mavericks, but instead he signed a 3-year, $119 million extension with the franchise. That's gonna keep him there through, I believe, 2029, if I'm not mistaken, 2028 or 2029. But now, like, we've seen some other stuff with the Mavericks and what they're doing. Like, they went out and got D'Angelo Russell yesterday in free agency. Now they've got a team with Kyrie Irving when he comes back from his ACL injury. Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, D'Angelo Russell off the bench. Got Daniel Gafford back. You still have PJ Washington. So I think Dallas, like, this was a good pickup for them, even though they're not going to have Kyrie to start the year.
I think it's an amazing pickup, and I think that Dallas could potentially be the only team possible to save themselves after the disaster that struck during February.
Yep.
Kyrie last year averaged 27 points per game. I don't know if people realize that. Kyrie averaged a quiet 27 points per game.
Yeah, Kyrie was
So
unbelievable.
now having Kyrie, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, you got yourself a pretty good team.
You've got a squad. And you got Klay Thompson there for moral support. That's
Yep,
that's a
Klay
four-time
on-
champion
You got Klay
over
on the
there.
team. Dude, the Mavericks could go right back to where they were. Depending on how Flagg plays, Flagg is supposed to be one of the greatest recruits ever.
Yeah.
So
100%. I think he's like the first American-born white player drafted first overall since like the 1970s.
we're both older than Cooper Flagg.
We
and
are
he's
both
in the
older than
NBA,
Cooper
and
Flagg,
he's
yeah.
set to average 20 points per game his rookie year. So I really like the 3-year extension. Kyrie's nowhere close to finishing, unlike
Yeah.
some of these other superstars.
I think if anyone can come back from an ACL injury in their 30s, it's Kyrie Irving.
It's Kyrie Irving. Like, I think Kyrie is going to bounce back, and there's other athletes around his age who I don't think will. We'll get into that in a little
Yeah.
bit. But Kyrie, I don't know. Kyrie's got this weird aura to him. We all know Kyrie's personality. I don't
Yeah.
think he'll be done by any
Yeah.
means. It's the one thing he does in life.
Yeah. This next thing, we'll just get over this quickly. Mark Williams finally got us traded out of Charlotte. He got sent over to Phoenix for, I think, a bag of Lay's potato chips and a Diet Coke. So, yeah, Mark Williams gets out of Charlotte. He can stop preying on the Lakers' downfall, and he can just beat them up in the West now. But
so now we get into what I don't understand. This is what I was talking about earlier. So the Suns trade for Mark Williams. They gave up, in my opinion, way too much to get him.
mhm,
The Suns proceed to draft Kamen Malawak, who is a center.
mhm.
So now they have two centers who are going to play the exact same. Malawak at Duke played the same way Mark Williams does. They don't leave the they don't leave the paint. They don't go to the perimeter. They rebound. They dunk. They
Yep.
defend the paint. I don't understand why the Suns gave up so much for Mark Williams, and I don't understand why they drafted Malawak after. I
mean,
didn't really like that.
They probably
for
saw what the
Phoenix.
Lakers threw at them, and they probably thought Dalton Connect was a lot better than other people viewed him. So they're like, oh, wow, they're giving up that, so we're going to have to give something good in return.
Phoenix should have drafted Derek Queen. He was right there.
Yeah.
He was right there.
Speaking
I
of
can't
Derek
believe
Queen,
they passed on him.
I want to mention this really quick. Did you see what Derek Queen did after he got drafted to New Orleans?
No, what's
He
that?
updated his LinkedIn profile and said he started a new position as a professional basketball player for the New Orleans Pelicans. So shout out to Derek Queen.
That's awesome.
Always putting your professional career ahead of everything else.
That's
Good-
another player in New Orleans, man. New Orleans might have a lot of fun this season.
Shout out Derek
I'm
Queen.
really
They're
excited.
gonna be a-
to see
they're
the
gonna be a fun
Pelicans.
team to watch,
I'm
that's
really
for sure.
excited to watch the Pelicans.
So now, right before we get into some more trades and free agency, we had the NBA draft in between all of this.
Yep, let's just
So,
get into it right now.
Obviously saw Cooper Flag go 101 to the Dallas Mavericks.
Yep.
Obviously that was going to happen. We all knew that. Then Dylan Harper, son of Ron Harper, got drafted second to San Antonio. One of my favorite picks of the draft went third to the Philadelphia 76ers, VJ Edgecombe.
He's a
Is
Flavor
VJ
X fan.
He has he's got the hunger that's lacking in today's NBA. And when I say that, I'll give my opinion on why I say that with the next guy I mention. But I loved him saying like he used to live off a generator and now he's in the league. Love it. Then I forget who went. It was Con Kneppel that went
Con
fourth.
Kneppel in fourth,
To
and then we
Charlotte.
get into
Then
Ace Bailey.
Ace Bailey goes number 5 to Utah. So Andrew, I need to have a little yap session here because I think two things are ruining the way hunger and like desire goes for the game of basketball, especially with the NBA. NIL and private schools.
Yeah, it's both.
Kids are getting treated like celebrities way too much when they're like 17, 18 years old. And you saw it with Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey was refusing to work out with teams and trying to lower his draft stock just so he didn't have to go to a worse team and he could jump right into a winning situation. That's not how it works. I will bet you a lot of money LeBron James did not want to go to the Cavaliers because they were coming off of like a 20-win season. Some of the other guys that went first overall didn't want to go to the team that drafted them because they wanted to go and win. But at the end of the day, they realized I'm getting the golden opportunity to play in the best basketball league in the entire world in front of millions of fans on television and thousands of fans in the crowd at the game. I have no right to say force my way to where I want to go. And I think now with players getting all this NIL money, as we've seen with Ace Bailey, I think he had like a top 10 NIL value, at least in basketball. Maybe top 5 for like D1 basketball players. Skipping workouts with teams, that's ridiculous. You're not good enough, one, because you're not the first overall pick. You're not good enough to do something like that. And, like, you don't have the platform. Yeah, you played at Rutgers. You had 2 of the top picks in the entire draft and you didn't even make the tournament.
They didn't even finish 500.
Yeah. What does that say about you?
I don't even think
like,
they
you're
finished
supposed to be
500.
this
I think they
great
had a losing
prospect, but you
record.
can't contribute to winning. So why would these teams want to draft you in the first place that have the high thing?
I just don't understand being drafted in the NBA,
Yeah.
but then being pissed about being drafted because
Yeah.
you're on a team you don't like. I don't understand that.
It's because guys get way too much money right now. Like, these guys already have millions before they even get drafted, especially with private schools. And, like, someone that's coming to your school next year, Kyan Anthony. I love what Carmelo Anthony did with him. Have you heard this story?
Yeah.
The reason Kyan went to the school he went to for high school is because they treat the kids like normal kids.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, like, pump them up to be, like, these big-nosed, like, celebrity-type kids that make all this money. No, they give them the regular school experience, no uniforms, regular classes, chill with your friends, but then when it comes to basketball, get serious. I love that, and I think Kyan Anthony is just going to, when he's able to get drafted eventually, he's going to just go to wherever he goes with open arms and be like, yo, I'm ready to come work for you guys. I'll do whatever it takes, yada, yada, yada. So I think what Ace Bailey did was very unprofessional of him. And I don't think any other teams are going to have interest in him because of something like that. And I think even though he gets a lot of hate, Paul George said it best, you're not in the position to be making all these demands, and you need to get drafted first before you can even say anything like that. So, yeah, there's my rant on Ace Bailey. I think what he's doing is not good for the game right now, especially with younger players. I think I think what Danny Ainge did was great, drafting him still, even though he didn't want to go to Utah. That's a great way to be like, listen, you don't get to make your own decision. This is the NBA. Go where you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything Ace Bailey did was just like disgusting.
It's childish.
It's stupid for him to do that because now teams are gonna want a guy like that in your locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Like he ruined his reputation before he even got in the league. Now all teams are gonna look at him and be like, I don't want a guy like that on my team.
No one's gonna want him. No.
And by the way, Carmelo also said that if Kyan doesn't have a valid freshman year, like he doesn't have a good freshman year, he's gonna make him come back for sophomore year.
That's
so
valid.
I love what Carmelo's doing.
Yep.
More players need to play like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ace Bailey, I'm not a big fan of. I am a big fan of the 2 players that came after him. I'm a big fan of Trey Johnson and Jeremiah Fears.
Mm-hmm. I like them both.
I like them both. Trey Johnson is stuck in Washington to start, though, so that's not great. But Jeremiah Fears, guess where he is? New Orleans. So that's going to be
I think
just an unbelievable team.
Washington has like a very unique team, to say the least, but I think by some sort of way they could like string together a couple of wins.
They almost have enough random players to the point where they might be not that bad.
Yeah, you got Marcus Smart, you got Malcolm Brogdon, you got Kelly Olynyk now, you got C.J. McCollum. I just realized they have 3 guys that play the exact same position, so that might be an issue.
And then Trey Johnson's also a guard.
No, great. Got Sarr.
But Jeremiah
looked
Fears
decent.
is such a stud. I'm a big fan of Jeremiah Fears. Overall, though, this draft class wasn't that stacked. Like, there's not that many players that everybody knew going into this. Next year is just going to be ridiculous. I can't wait for next year.
This year's, though, I'd say was more packed than last year's class. Like,
More
no
packed than last
disrespect to, like, Ricochet, Sarr, and all of those guys, and Thompson
Well,
twins.
having Cooper Flag is what brings it over the edge.
Thompson twins weren't last year. What am I thinking?
Yeah, the Thompson twins were good. But, yeah, the draft, successful draft. The Celtics, I like Hugo Gonzalez.
I like Hugo
Expect
a lot.
big things from him. Luka has trained with him before,
Yep.
lots of times, actually. And then the Nets. I want to talk about the Nets for a sec. The Nets took 4 guards, and then they also took Danny Wolf. I don't really care about it too much. Danny Wolf, I think, is a good player. And then some of the kids they took in the draft, like Drake Powell, is pretty good.
Drake Powell's really nice. Yeah, I like him.
But yeah, I don't understand the 5 guards
Yeah,
in
I
Brooklyn.
mean, it just looks like a lot of teams don't know what the heck they're doing right now.
No.
We might need to just clone Kenny Beecham a couple times and let him run these teams.
A lot of teams kind of look clueless. But now the draft is over. Free agency is now underway as of last night,
At 6 p.m.
June 30th.
So first thing, this happened a little before. We have a couple moves that happened slightly before then everything happens. So there is, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that happened day before free agency. So first was he decided not to enter free agency, which I was very shocked by. Naz Reid signed a 5-year, $125 million contract to stay with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think that's a good pickup for them. I mean, like, we saw Naz Reid win 6th Man of the Year. Big contributor to that Timberwolves team and like their success they've had in the past years, making it to the Western Conference Finals both times.
I think the Timberwolves got a good squad going because they've showed this offseason that they trust their team. They signed Naz Reid to a long triple-digit $1 million deal, and they also recently just signed Julius Randle. To a 3-year, $110 million deal. So
Randle was another one in here. Randle got 3 years, $100 million.
So their salary is gone. They can't pay anyone else, but they pay the guys who have been there. So the Timberwolves team that we have seen is the team that's going to stay for a while.
Yep.
So if the Timberwolves can figure it out, there's a chance we could see some magic over there in Minnesota. So they got the team staying for a while. Everyone's locked up. So let's see what they got. Randall, Reid, Edwards, Gobert. Let's see what they can do.
They did have one kind of crucial loss, but we'll get to that when we get to one of the teams that we were saying cooked pretty well. But next thing that happened is Lonzo Ball was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Isaac Okoro straight up.
This was so confusing when I saw this news.
This was definitely one of the trades of all time.
It was the most random trade I think I've ever seen. Just straight up Isaac Okoro for Lonzo Ball.
I mean, in the case that Cleveland maybe loses Darius Garland, this gives you like a point guard that is a pass first type of point guard. You know what I mean? Like Lonzo's a guy you want to have on your team for like his.
I like the trade for Cleveland more than Chicago.
Yeah, like getting Lonzo.
Yes. I like the trade for Cleveland.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like sometimes I feel like the Bulls just be making trades.
I do feel like the
blindly.
Bulls did have I feel like the Bulls did have like a point guard problem though, because you also have guys like Kobe White there as well, or him and Lonzo like.
For sure, but you could have got more for Lonzo than just Okoro.
Maybe.
You could have thrown a pick or something in there. I would rather picks.
I think Lonzo's price is kind of iffy right now because of him coming back after
it's
missing
iffy
2 years.
For sure. But I mean, he kind of looked the way he did. Not as well, but he played pretty well.
I'd like to see Lonzo in his. This is his 4th team now, I believe. He went from L.A. to New Orleans to Chicago.
Yeah,
now he's going to be in Cleveland. Next thing, speaking of Cleveland's greatest athlete of all time, LeBron James picks up his $52 million player option with the Lakers. But, Andrew, it's getting more clear every single day LeBron was not chimed in on the Anthony Davis-Luka Doncic trade. And Lakers keep making moves without talking to him. So it's looking more and more likely by the day LeBron James might request a trade out of LA because LeBron wants to go for championship number 5 before he retires. And the Lakers do not look like they're shaping up to do that quite yet. And I feel like that was kind of figured when you saw new ownership coming in, because a lot of these teams that are coming in to buy the teams, they don't want to win anymore. It's a small concern for me with Boston, but I think right now this was more just getting out of second apron. But you think there's any logic here that LeBron James gets traded?
LeBron won't get traded. I would be really surprised if they traded LeBron. What I think happens is pretty much what he said. I think he plays this year, then he decides to leave, and he'll go for a team that's in a winning stage. He'll try to win that championship and then retire. Because something that also came up, Savannah has told the media that she is really trying to get LeBron to retire. Savannah, LeBron's wife, really wants him to retire. So I think LeBron has a max of 2 years left. So I think he tries to stat pad in LA. Then I think he joins a powerhouse and wins a ring.
So this is going to be year 23? So you think
this year upcoming is year 23.
So you think 24 is when he's going to tap out?
I think he literally has to. I don't think Savannah's going to let him keep going.
Yeah. So next we talked Julius Randle. We got 2 more before we get into free agency day. Jabari Smith lands himself a 5-year, $122 million deal to stay with the Houston Rockets. I mean, former 3rd overall pick, freak athlete, good defensive player. I mean, what do you got to say about this one?
I mean, I love the signing. Jabari Smith has been one of the better players in this Rockets young core that's mostly gone now. I'm happy that Smith wasn't in the Durant deal. I would have been very upset if they had done that. I was already not really happy with them trading Jalen Green, but
I feel like if you had to pick between Green and Sengun, though, I think Green was definitely the guy to go.
oh yeah, for sure. The Rockets still got a good squad there. They got Sengun, they got Jabari Smith, now they got Kevin Durant there.
Mm-hmm.
Recently just added.
Kept Fred VanVleet as
Yep,
well.
kept Fred VanVleet, added more talent. So Rockets are definitely, maybe the veteran is what the Rockets needed. I know I said Durant was a trap because usually these things are.
Although
But if Durant shows some leadership as a veteran,
they did get another veteran who has been proven to be a great leader. We'll bring that up when we get to it, but I think you know who I'm talking about here. Next one, this one I don't really care about. DeAndre Ayton agreed to a buyout with the Portland Trail Blazers. Now he's going to be a free agent. Looking like he signed with the Lakers, and I actually just saw on my phone that I have a lot of Twitter notifications. I think we'll do a Twitter check at the very end of the segment.
Actually, while you do, I'll do a Twitter check right now as we keep talking.
So, I mean, DeAndre Ayton, he was a big piece to Phoenix's run to the NBA Finals when they eventually lost to Milwaukee in 6 games. But I don't really know how valuable he is because it showed when he was in Portland, when he was in a team not in a winning situation, he can get really lazy. So I don't know how teams are going to look at that. But I wouldn't be shocked at a team like the Lakers going for him, personally.
I wouldn't be shocked about that either. By the way, I don't see anything new as of the last couple of minutes.
I'm going to do a quick search right now. We got... Nope, nothing new.
Nothing new as of right now. So we're gonna
Shams,
heads on a swivel for that though.
Shams,
we're
Chris
here, we're
Haynes, underdog, everything. We're locked in.
Yep, we're ready.
All right, now we're getting into June 30th deals. First one of the day wasn't even a free agency signing, actually, Andrew. Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies signed a 5-year, $240 million max extension to stay with the franchise for another 5 years. I was very happy about this because I'm an owner of a Jaren Jackson Jr. jersey, and I didn't want him to get traded or leave because I would just have to throw it in the back of the closet with all my other ones that I've sent to the Shadow Realm. So I was pretty happy about this. I'm a big JJJ guy. Love his defense, love his shot blocking ability. How'd you feel about this one?
I think it's an unbelievable overpay. Jaren Jackson's good. He's a huge part of the Grizzlies, but how much is $240?
$240.
That's absurd. $5 million, $240 is an absurd contract for a guy like Jaren Jackson.
So that's a lot of money for 5 years.
That's like becoming almost like the norm though.
Yeah.
It's like paying role players that amount of money, and now you're paying superstars.
I think
the type of money Shea's getting.
I think now stuff like this is gonna kind of ruin teams because we obviously say NBA money is crazy, but now thanks to the second apron, we're really not gonna see a lot of contracts like this go out because it's gonna be these superstars are gonna get the boatload thrown at them. But then their co-stars aren't going to get nearly as much because the team just can't afford it without having to pay a $200 million tax.
I still don't understand the value of Jaren Jackson.
I don't know. Memphis,
he doesn't even get rebounds. He really doesn't get rebounds for his height and his build, dude.
He just blocks shots.
He blocks shot and he tries to shoot threes. He can't. He's not like your He's not a typical big man. He can't rebound. He doesn't rebound. So a max extension I think is absurd. I think it's an severe overpay, and I think if I was a Grizzlies fan, I'd be pretty upset.
So we mentioned D'Lo to Dallas. Next was our first trade of yesterday. Denver Nuggets sent MPJ and I think a second-round pick to the Brooklyn Nets in exchange for Cam Johnson. I really like this move. Honestly, I think if you're going to get rid of Michael Porter Jr., even though his jump shot's pretty entertaining for me to watch at least because he gets a lot of lift, I think Cam Johnson's a good guy to replace him with. Cam Johnson's been to the NBA Finals. He's hungry. He wants to win. We also saw yesterday Denver bring back Bruce Brown, who was a part of that championship roster, which I think was the first domino that fell in Denver not being able to go back-to-back that year. But, Andrew, what do you think of this trade?
I think it's actually a pretty even trade. I mean, you're trading a guy who doesn't pass for a guy who doesn't pass, just swapping teams. But Cam Johnson really broke out last year. Michael Porter Jr., I would argue, he not really peaked, but he hasn't changed since, 2019, 2020. He's been the exact same player. 17 points, 2.5, 3 assists a game. He gets the job done, but I think a first-round pick, throwing it in there, I would like the deal if I'm the Nets.
Yeah.
Getting Michael Porter Jr., a solid option, and then getting a first-round pick, and you're giving up someone who's really the same player. I don't really see much of a difference between MPJ and Cam Johnson. I really don't.
Yeah. If I'm the Nets front office, I like the deal, but if I'm a fan, I'm they're probably going to use this first-round pick on someone I've never heard of.
They probably will, but if I'm a fan, I'm still like, I'm okay with them. Like, getting rid of Johnson for MPJ,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Next, this is really just a team, but this was their biggest one. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Minnesota couldn't afford to pay him, so he's heading to Atlanta on a 4-year deal worth, was it $100 million, something like that?
It's $62 million.
$62 million. That's
4
what it was.
years,
4 years,
$62
$62 million for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That's going to be a big defensive hit for Minnesota, because having him and McDaniels there on the court at the same time, two long, skinny defenders was nice. But Atlanta, Andrew, they're slowly cooking something up.
All of
now
a sudden,
you got Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, Kristaps Porzingis, and now you add Nickeil Alexander-Walker to the mix.
Alexander Walker is a defensive
Yeah.
presence that they needed. The Hawks haven't had much of a defensive presence. They haven't had much of a presence. The Hawks have been the definition of mid in the NBA, and obviously he's not going to be the turning point, but he's part of it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
A defensive presence is very much needed in Atlanta because you got Trae Young, plays no defense. Guy they just traded for doesn't play much defense. The Hawks don't play much defense, so I think Alexander Walker is a good signing, and the Hawks are starting to look pretty good. I agree with you, Tyler.
And East is wide open, as we said.
100%. East is literally anyone's conference to take.
Next, a hit in the East, which kind of sucked for us. Luke Cornett signed a 4-year, $41 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. Cornett will no longer be a member of the Boston Celtics, but I'm very happy Cornett got his bag, because I think when we picked him up, he could never imagine making $10 million a year. And now, he has his bag in San Antonio. He's going to back up Wemby. I think he's going to be a good fit for a team like that that's really hard-nosed. I think he'll bring some light into that locker room. So I'm very happy for Luke Cornett, but Andrew, I imagine you were obviously pretty upset losing him as well.
I was very upset to see Luke Cornett leave. I would rather – this is a tougher take, but I think I would rather get rid of Al just because Cornett's younger. He brings a lot of energy. I mean, Cornett's not that much younger, but he brings a lot of energy, and Al is just too old. I still want Al to stay now, obviously, but
I think, honestly, Cornett's going to get a pretty crazy crowd pop when he returns next year.
oh yeah, no, the fans love Cornett.
Yeah,
The fans absolutely love Cornett, and San Antonio's gonna love Cornett.
I think they're going to give Cornett a video, honestly. Like Robert Williams said he didn't want a video. I think Cornett's going to get a video.
Cornett gets a video.
Dude, Jay Crowder got a video.
Jay Crowder did get a video. Well, but Jay Crowder was on the team for years. Luke Cornett was on the team for like 3 years.
I think Cornett's been here since like 2021. I think he was here
Has
for a
it been
while.
that long?
He was here
really?
for a while, yeah. But like
That's crazy.
Porzingis and Holiday are going to get videos. We all know that.
Yeah, for sure.
and
I like the Spurs too. There's a lot of teams that are starting to rise. The
Yeah.
Spurs are one of them.
Horford also hasn't signed yet as of this moment. If he signs in post-production, we'll put it on the screen. But as of right now, Horford's still a free agent. I'm very scared that we're going to lose him, Andrew. I don't even want to think about that right now. It just makes me sick to my stomach.
Time and the final time.
But speaking of fan favorite big men leaving their desired team, this happened while we were in prep. Miles Turner signed a 4-year, $107 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. Went to a Central Division rival and left the Indiana Pacers after they made an NBA Finals run. So, Andrew, the question I have is, do you think Miles Turner would have did this if Tyrese Halliburton had not gotten injured?
No. Miles Turner stays if Halliburton is healthy. Turner was on the team for 8 years, and he just threw it out the window just like that after going to the finals. The only reason he didn't do that is because he knows Indiana is barely making the playoffs next year with Halliburton out. All of a sudden, now that Turner's gone too, the Pacers they're done.
Mm. I'm really curious to see the perception he gets from Indiana fans here. But the way Milwaukee was able to do this is they made a move I would have never expected to happen in a million years. Damian Lillard was waived by the Milwaukee Bucks, and now he's going to become a free agent. Dame very unlikely to play for the majority of next year due to an Achilles tear. But with that being said, Giannis Antetokounmpo is reportedly very, very pissed about this move because I don't think the Bucks communicated with him at all with this, and the Bucks have been making a lot of weird moves that we saw as we were about to get into filming. Like they traded Pat Connaughton, they signed Jericho Sims, they made the trade for Pat Connaughton. They got Micic from the Hornets, who I hear Micic is solid, but he's playing in Charlotte, so no one really heard about him.
No,
not his fault. Just Charlotte's not in the position to be winning right now. But Andrew, this whole thing talked to me. Turner turning his back on Indiana. Dame waived. Giannis unhappy. Is Giannis going to request a trade now? Is Giannis going to come in? Because obviously Turner is an upgrade from Brook Lopez, if you ask me.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
they lost Brooke Lopez yesterday to the Clippers.
Brooke Lopez is like 40 years old, and Miles Turner
Yeah.
has been a solid player forever. But I think we could potentially be in the middle of experiencing the Bucks explosion that has been here for 10 years.
Like
All of a sudden,
like they're gonna come back to
they-
the top, or they're gonna blow it up
it's
and
gone. Like
okay,
they're blowing it up.
Yeah.
They dropped Dame, and now Giannis is pissed.
Yeah. And you already lost Middleton. You lost Holiday.
You lost Middleton. You lost
Holiday in the Dame trade.
There's a
Right now, you have Kyle Kuzma on the roster, which, I mean,
no one wants Kyle
it's
Kuzma
in the
on
name
team.
right there. It doesn't get much worse than that.
I don't think Giannis is staying. I think he's gonna leave. I think at some
Yeah, I
point in
think
the next
Giannis-
couple of days,
I think we're gonna see the
we'll
trade
see
request
Giannis.
come soon.
we'll see Giannis go somewhere else.
Now, here's a guy I'm actually pretty happy for. Kevon Looney signed a 2-year, $16 million deal, was it, with the New Orleans Pelicans. So, again, Pelicans are like, I don't know what they're up to, but they're up to something.
The Pelicans are definitely up to something. I really like the Kevon Looney signing.
So they still have Trey Murphy. I don't know how they do, but they do. You got Zion, you got Jordan Poole. Now you add Kevon Looney, a defensive and rebounding presence to this team. I mean, we always say it every year, the Pelicans could be good, but it's always a very big could. And you're going to have DeJounte Murray coming back. I totally forgot about that.
DeJounte Murray's coming back. I also forgot about that.
Is he coming from, he's coming off Achilles too, I think?
I think it's Achilles. I'm not sure.
Adam Silver, man. Too many Achilles pops this year, dude.
I'm surprised that Looney left Golden State. I did not.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to resign.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
I thought he was
I
resigning,
thought he
but-
would have done anything possible to stay in Golden State.
And I'm wondering what Curry's going to do, dude. Because
Yeah.
the Warriors are not going to be good.
So now we got one more thing of free agency / offseason as of now, this very moment. This morning, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, see him right here on my shirt, signed a 4-year, $285 million contract extension to keep him with the Thunder through 2031. Andrew, this is like the most annual money we have ever seen. I think Luka was slated to get more with Dallas, but obviously that's not going to happen anymore.
Yep.
I mean, just talk to me here. Like, Shai is going to make $71 million a year. That's almost $1 million a game.
Oh my God, that is insane to think about. 71 million a year. I mean, it's expected. We all saw Shai re-signing, and I
Yep.
think we all saw the Supermax. 71 million a year is insane.
That's actually crazy work.
So now the Thunder are going to be a dynasty for quite a well, maybe not a dynasty.
We said that about the Celtics.
They will be contenders. They could be contenders for a while. They got
I'm just saying, we said that about
Shai's
the
locked up.
Celtics.
I don't think the Celtics are done though.
I don't either. I think we're gonna have a gap
Give
year.
us a year.
We're gonna
Just
have
give
a
us
gap year, but then we're gonna get to Bansa.
Give the Celtics a year. No, we're not getting to Bansa.
So now we have two sum it ups that aren't like offseason related. One of them though, I know you were very happy about this. Yesterday, EA Sports announced that they're coming back to the college basketball scene
Oh
and
my
making
goodness.
an EA Sports college basketball game. Let's give it up for EA Sports.
We are
Final-
so back, ladies and gentlemen.
EA Sports
We
might
are-
not get professional sports games right. They might choke the chicken on that every year. But when it comes to college sports, EA Sports knows what they're doing.
I cannot wait for EA college basketball to come out. So it's supposed to come out in 2028.
Yep.
And everyone's overreacting about that. They announced college football 25 in 2022. It's the same thing.
Yep.
Time flies. The game will be here before you know it. So I cannot wait to play with Kentucky, Kansas. Can't wait to play with Syracuse in the Dome. Can't wait to play with Providence in the Dunk.
Don't forget the Rhodey Rams.
Can't wait to play with the Rhodey
at the
Rams.
Ryan Center.
Can't wait to play with Loyola Chicago. Can't
Yep.
wait to play with St. Peter's.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna
Some of those
be
upset
great.
teams.
I'm excited.
Dude, the March Madness in the game. Oh my goodness, I seriously cannot wait.
The thing I'm most happy about is the fact that 2K finally has competition.
Yep. And I heard 2K might also try to create a game because they need to match EA. So
That would be a
whatever game comes out first,
that's a desperation heave right there.
it's gonna
if you ask
have to
me.
be because 2K is terrible. The
Terrible.
company is awful.
2K is just going in the toilet every single year. But now, Andrew, the biggest thing for me and you on Sum It Up today, it's been almost 10 years in the making. We saw this guy sleep in a LeBron James bed.
Yes, we did.
Cash Nasty has finally met LeBron James. Andrew, I need to ask you this before I get into it. Being a Cash Nasty fan since like the old 2Hype days, what did that moment mean to you?
It was just kind of like, I mean, I have goosebumps right now thinking about it. It was like one of those things that like you never thought would really happen.
Mm-hmm.
And like shout out to Kai Cenat for making that happen, dude.
Yeah, great
you're,
guy.
You're a goat for that.
Yeah, Kai Cenat, dude.
But
one of the best like people on the internet right
it was
now.
the fact that he met him and like LeBron was excited to meet Cash. Like LeBron knew who he was before
Mhm.
they met. And then yeah, you saw the video of LeBron leaving. He goes like I see you
Yo,
later, Cash.
Yeah.
And you know who we did not say bye to?
Ty Lue. I mean, I think Tyler's very clearly in the wrong here. And I think Tyler's doing too much to try to make himself look like the good guy, but I don't really want to.
He doesn't understand. Tyler doesn't.
He really doesn't understand. Like LeBron James, Tyler talks about his story with LeBron. That's a story for like 90% of LeBron James fans in America. They're like, oh my God, LeBron has a similar upbringing to me. Yeah. And I'm not discrediting him.
LeBron's like that for. That's how everyone in the country would say if they met LeBron. But Cash is.
You just got to. It's one of those things you just got to know.
The biggest LeBron fan of all time.
You saw how loyal Cash is though to his friends. Cash didn't want to go because he didn't want to let Jesser down. And because Jesser had his creator game, and Jesser was like, Cash, if you don't go, I'm going to be mad at you.
Jesser's like, Cash, go meet LeBron. And then Cash talked to his wife about it. He goes, can't go to Anaheim. Got to go meet LeBron.
And his wife got excited for him. That was so awesome. That was the biggest part.
The whole sequence was amazing. Then Flight reacted to it, and Flight was pumped for him. All of it was just so awesome. And then ESPN posted about it.
On the stream, we saw what Kai said before they walked out of the bus. All he said was, Flight's next.
Flight, you're next.
And if you know, you know. But yeah,
I mean,
ESPN posted.
The man already follows him.
Flight's
already followed by him, man.
Yeah, SportsCenter posted this. LeBron himself
posted
it on his story and on his as a regular post.
LeBron did a collab post, not with Cash Nasty, but it was about posting with Cash.
It was with Mitchell and Ness, I believe.
Yes, it was with Mitchell and Ness. Oh my God, so awesome.
So I don't think Cash needs to clap back at all at Tyler. I think
literally just show him the fact that LeBron posted.
Yeah, Cash won. Cash won at the end of the day.
It's not even at the end of the day. Cash won the whole time.
And Cash went about it right, too, because LeBron was probably thinking about Tyler.
And even during the meet and greet, Tyler was being so annoying.
He was glazing too much, and that's what Cash was trying to Cash was trying to prevent. Like, I think Cash went about it right. He was respectable, let him talk, but then Tyler just had to come in and box out. And LeBron even saw through it.
Yeah.
Like, LeBron said bye to Cash. He didn't say bye to Tyler.
Yeah, no, LeBron knew.
And, like, Tyler's funny and all that, but, like, dude, just... Know your boundaries,
know your role, bro. Know your role.
Like, Tyler might not even come on the stream, because you saw LeBron agreed to go on a stream with Kai, right? I think now Cash will probably be there.
That would be so legendary.
Will Tyler be there? That's the question.
Kai and LeBron said they play Madden against each other.
Dude, LeBron's nasty at Madden. LeBron
I know.
Would, work me.
He's literally he was ranked top 10 in the world at one point in Madden.
LeBron, I swear he's just good at anything he does. It kind of pissed me off, but like it's LeBron, so like.
LeBron was literally a 4-star tight end.
Yeah. So now, Andrew, that was the longest sum it up I think we have ever done.
Yeah, there you go, guys. Let's sum it up for you. A lot of free agency.
There's probably going to be more next week because we got the 4th of July coming up. MCM's going to be closed on the 3rd and the 4th and through the weekend, obviously. So we'll be back next week with another episode.
With another big sum it up.
Yes. So you said we only had 2 segments today. Now it's time to get into everybody's favorite segment. It is time for On the Clock. All right, Andrew, it's been a while since we've done it on the clock, since you were on your trip in Costa Rica. Yeah, but last time you had the draft category. Now I'm back with the draft category. This is one I've been wanting to do for a while.
All right.
We are doing the most hated Boston athletes draft.
I love this
They can either have played for a Boston team and had an outfall or played for another team and just be an enemy. So, Andrew, I'm going to give you the first pick. And I just need to preface, this is just going to be athletes. So, like, Roger Goodell isn't going to be on here. If you want to throw in a coach, we'll count it. But, like, Roger Goodell will not be on here. So, Roger, Barstool made clown merch of this guy. So, I think it's pretty clear Roger Goodell would be, like, a top pick in this draft. But, Andrew, you have the first pick in this draft. Where are you going?
So, this first pick is tougher than you would think. I am going to go with Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod. But it's tough.
I would have gone A-Rod as well.
There's a lot of places I could go here. But, like, A-Rod always fought Veritek. He has openly hated Boston, even though he literally basically signed with the Red Sox, then flipped to the Yankees.
He was traded here, yeah.
Swatted the ball out of Schilling's glove, did roids. Like, everything about him is just the worst. He's cocky.
Yep.
I hate everything about A-Rod.
Yeah. So that's...
Every Boston fan hates everything
obviously,
about A-Rod.
great reasoning. It's A-Rod. A-Rod's number one. Next, there's 2 ways I can go here, and I think you'll know what I mean by this. I'm going to go with Eli Manning.
Yep.
The real op.
I agree.
The real op beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl, took away the Pats' undefeated season. Only quarterback Tom Brady could never beat when it mattered, which is really, really annoying. But, yeah, give me Eli Manning with my first pick, second overall.
Tom Brady was so close to beating him both times. Like, imagine that. Tom Brady would have 9 rings.
Tom Brady would have 9 rings if Eli didn't
That's
exist.
absurd. And then he would have the perfect season.
Yep.
Unbelievable. So, Eli Manning, perfect pick for that. Because Eli still jokes about it to this day. Yep. Eli will never let that go. So, with my second pick, I'm debating between whether I want to go with a rival or just like a total awful human. So with my second pick, I'm gonna go. Dang, there's a lot of ways I could go here. So I'm just gonna pick an awful human. Manny Machado is my second pick.
Yeah, he was definitely on here. Like,
I'm gonna go. You could argue that he could have gone later, but I will literally never forget Manny Machado for that.
Yeah.
Our generation,
I,
we're Dustin Pedroia fans.
yeah, he
Big
took
Dustin Pedroia fans, and what
that
he
might be
did-
the reason Dustin Pedroia doesn't make the Hall of Fame. Is because he lost those extra couple of seasons.
Pedroia better make the Hall of Fame.
He
He's an MVP.
He didn't make-
three-time World Series.
He didn't make it
champ.
on this year. He didn't make it first ballot. We knew that. 3 people made it to the Hall
Well,
of
he
Fame
wouldn't
this
have
year.
made it first ballot, but three-time champion, MVP. Pedroia's got to get in. And if
Yeah.
he doesn't, Manny Machado's the worst. I
Yeah.
hate everything about Manny Machado.
All right, I think now I'm gonna just go with a duo. I'm gonna take Peyton Manning as well. I mean,
Okay.
him and
yeah,
Tom
that's a
Brady
good
played
one.
each other in the AFC Championship. I know it's a dull pick.
No, it's a good
But,
pick. Back on the Colts, then on
Colts
the Broncos.
and on the Broncos, they
a good
have
pick.
like an even record against each other. Peyton has more MVPs, Tom has more Super Bowls, and then obviously Peyton and Tom Brady, whenever they played, it was just button heads the entire time. It was like 2 Goliaths fighting each other. So I think I got the Manning duo right now. I think Peyton was a pretty clear pick for me right there. There's a couple ways I could have gone here with what I have on my draft, but yeah, I'm going Peyton Manning, second pick.
So with my next pick, mine's a similar pick to that. It's more of like a rivalry. I'm going to go with Magic Johnson.
Yeah,
The
there you
biggest
go.
rivalry in all of sports. It's
Yep.
what brought basketball back.
Mhm.
Every Celtics fan hates Magic Johnson.
Yep. Even though Magic had like his nice moment when him and Bird both retired in the same year, and he like wore the Celtic shirt. That was
Well, once they retired, it was
Yeah.
a friendly beef. But when they played, it was not.
It was not friendly,
Not
no.
friendly when they played. Afterwards, it's fun. Like
Yeah.
everyone's cool with Magic now, but in the '80s when they played, they were not.
I've
big
seen
fans.
some funny stuff. Robert Parrish said in an interview he only respects 3 players from like the Showtime Lakers, and everyone else he absolutely hates them and will talk to them. He
Who's,
respects
like, worthy.
he respects Kareem because that was who he had to guard every single game,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like they just had a mutual respect for each other. Worthy because they went into the Hall of Fame together, and then Michael Cooper because Michael Cooper was like a hard-nosed defensive player.
Yeah,
Other than
Cooper
that,
was
all the
dumb.
other Showtime Lakers hates him.
So Magic included.
So now I'm going to go a guy that's hated by the fans. I don't know how much he is hated anymore, but in the moment, people wanted this guy like dead. Give me Bill Buckner.
Yeah, perfect pick.
Like-
Perfect pick.
Like, dude has
I was gonna go with Bill Buckner next.
he has the worst play in I think the history of Boston sports. And we saw the Patriots throw the ball backwards to the
It could
Raiders.
literally be the history of sports. Like that was J.R. Smith bad
That was like
because
World
that
Series
was,
in your hand and you dropped it.
That was to win it. That
Yeah.
was to break the curse, and then he lost Game 6. Then they lost Game 7 after,
Yes, they did.
and he was literally run out of Boston.
Mhm.
Like the most amount of death threats sent to a human ever was probably
Probably
that
Bill
night.
Buckner, yeah.
And then Buckner was literally scared to come back and throw the first pitch 40 years later. And now he's unfortunately passed away. Rest in peace to
Rest
Bill
in peace, Bill
Buckner.
Buckner.
Because he was a good player. He was like a 10-time All-Star or something like
Yeah,
that.
he was
Buckner
pretty
was a good player, but he will literally only be remembered for that,
Yeah, sucks that that's the
which
case.
is
but-
terrible.
Oh well.
So my next pick,
We're at 4th round now, I
we're at
believe.
the 4th round. So I'm going to go back to the Pinstripes. And this is tough. I could go with one of 2 people, but I'm going to go with Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens was on my list.
He was a Red Sox.
I was gonna
switched,
take
became a
him next,
Yankee,
yeah.
Also did roids. Roger Clemens, not a Red Sox fan's favorite athlete. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I have so many Yankees on my list of athletes. It's almost half Yankees.
Yeah, I have some Yankees on here too. There's a couple ways I can go here. All right, I think with my 4th pick, this is a guy that played for another team. This is from like a violent standpoint though. I'm gonna go Bernard Pollard. He's the guy
That's a good
that
one.
took out Tom Brady.
Yeah, Bernard Pollard's a good pick.
Even though Tom Brady came back and he still became the GOAT.
afterwards.
Bernard Pollard dropped my heart for a while when he tore Tom Brady's ACL. So I'm gonna go Bernard Pollard with my 4th.
Yeah, I don't think anyone will ever forget him for what he did to Tom Brady.
Yep.
But I mean, Brady came back stronger.
Brady did come
Like
back
he-
stronger, yeah.
It was unbelievable. So, are we on round 5 now?
Round 5. This is the final pick.
This is so tough. So I think I'm gonna leave baseball alone. I'm between basketball and hockey here.
Oh wow! I think I have both of these picks on my board that you're in between right now. I want to say.
I'm gonna go with basketball,
Uh-huh.
and I think I know who you're gonna take. It's the guy Larry Bird hates more than anyone. It's Bill Laimbeer.
I actually wasn't thinking that, but Bill Laimbeer is a great
Bill
pick.
Laimbeer is my 5th pick. I mean, he was a dirty player. He tried to fight Larry Bird multiple times. Was dirty to Kevin McHale on multiple occasions. During the whole 80s, he expressed how much he hated the Celtics more than any team in sports.
Yeah. I think, with my final pick, I don't know how he didn't get drafted. It's a boring pick, but give me LeBron.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing
Celtics
LeBron.
fans are pretty open. Not me, personally, but Celtics fans are pretty open about how much they don't dislike LeBron, specifically Miami LeBron. Because, everyone knows they weren't scared of Cleveland LeBron.
No, yeah, it was Miami LeBron.
Miami
owns
LeBron
the
in Game 6, yeah, that was just bad.
Miami LeBron owned the Celtics.
He did.
Except for the first year he was there.
Didn't they beat him? He beat them in the playoffs, though, that first
Didn't we
year?
beat him? Didn't we beat Miami one year?
Not with LeBron there.
Not with LeBron.
LeBron made it to the finals every single year in Miami. Been there for 4 years, right?
Nah,
He lost to Dallas, beat OKC, beat San Antonio, lost to San Antonio. And then he packed it up and went back to Cleveland.
Was 2011 his first year?
Yeah. When he
When
he blew it in the finals against Dallas.
Yeah, I was
17.
thinking of. Yeah, no, you're right. When the Celtics Lakers played, that was when we beat Cleveland, and that was when LeBron left.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So Miami LeBron owns the Celtics. We own Cleveland LeBron. First Cleveland LeBron.
I was going to say,
Cleveland
second
LeBron
Cleveland LeBron, no.
Owns us more than Miami LeBron. Actually, no. But
No.
Cleveland LeBron still owns us.
Yeah. So,
But LeBron, that's a valid take. And LeBron has expressed that he hates Boston fans because Boston fans are not very nice to LeBron.
but I think
whenever he
LeBron
enters the
now,
Garden.
I think he respects it now. Because he says that, Boston's his favorite place to play.
Yeah, I mean, Celtics Lakers is always a fun atmosphere,
it's a fun
especially
time.
when LeBron's there.
I think when LeBron's retired, he's gonna say that Boston was annoying, but it was probably the most
But it
funny,
was fun.
probably the most fun he ever had playing in an opponent's arena.
So Tyler, let me hear your honorable mentions.
So
Now that we're 5 picks.
there was 2 real honorable mentions I had on here. I can throw in some Yankees too, obviously, but big one was Kyrie.
Yep.
I don't really
Kyrie,
have beef with him,
LeBron.
and I don't really have beef with Kyrie Irving anymore.
It's kind of gone. It's faded.
So that's
away.
why I didn't throw Kyrie in there. My hockey one, I wonder if this was the same, if we had the same person. Mine was Matthew Tkachuk.
Mine was not Matthew Tkachuk, but that's a good one. And I would have done Sam Bennett. I would have done half the Panthers team. I would have done Bennett or Tkachuk. I hate them both.
But then some Yankees, I'll say Mariano Rivera.
Yep.
Pissed me off.
Well, Rivera was he never really did anything. My Yankee was Aaron Boone.
Aaron Boone, yeah. Don Zimmer. Even though Pedro kind of owned him.
But Don Zimmer was another Red Sox flip to Yankee. Jacoby Ellsbury.
Yeah, but Jacoby Ellsbury.
No, I like Ellsbury. I like Ellsbury.
Jacoby Ellsbury knew what he was doing. Steal a bunch of money from the Yankees and suck. I respect him for it.
I like
Johnny Damon though could be on here, because I know when that first happened, people were pissed at him.
But Damon was also part of the reason they broke the curse. Because you could also throw Kurt Schilling on there. Kurt Schilling did the same thing as Johnny Damon, but they were both part of the cursed team.
But Damon went and won a ring with the Yankees. That's what pissed people off the most.
In 09, yeah, you're right.
So, those are some of my honorable mentions. There's probably more that I missed. Isaiah Thomas is probably on here. Joe Dumars.
Anyone from the Bad Boy Pistons.
Will Chamberlain, James Worthy, Kareem.
So my honorable mentions, I have both of the Mannings on here as well, as you had. Aaron Boone, as I already said. My hockey player is Max Pacioretty.
Yeah.
And really anyone from the mid-2010s Canadians. PK Subban.
Yep.
Carey Price. Anyone from that Canadians team.
Yeah.
Those games were bloody. And they were so much fun to watch. But God, I hate the Canadians so much. I hate them now because of the team then.
So let's run over our rosters. My team was Eli and Peyton, Bill Buckner, Bernard Pollard, and LeBron.
My order was A-Rod, Manny Machado, Magic, Roger Clemens, and Bill Laimbeer.
I mean, I think that's a pretty solid list.
They're both pretty even.
I don't think any of these guys that we just said will get charged the proper amount if they step into a restaurant in Boston. I think they get upcharged like crazy.
Yeah, all 10 of those guys walking to a restaurant in Boston, they're not making it out.
I think we had another good draft here.
Another amazing on the clock draft. Yeah. Another amazing topic. Yeah. Another amazing draft. It was some good honorable mentions. Yeah. I mean, the fact that Kyrie didn't make the list says it all.
Yeah, that says it all. I think a lot of fans now, especially me and you, I think we've put that behind us because we got the chip and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was a bad time, but Kyrie's a different person.
But we beat him in the chip. That's the best part. Is we beat Kyrie in the championship, so it's okay.
So this has been a great 8th episode of Sports Wire. Sorry for the week away.
Yep.
We're only going to have one episode this week due to the holiday this week, so happy 4th of July to all of you.
Happy 4th.
Go celebrate America, and if you celebrate the 3rd of July, happy 3rd to you as well. If you have a birthday,
sir.
sometime this week, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
I mean, I don't know who you are, but happy birthday, man. Hope it's a good one.
If it's your half birthday, then
Happy half
you're
birthday.
almost there.
Yeah,
You're
you know,
almost
you're
there.
6 more months.
6 more months.
But yeah, I'm Tyler. This is
I'm Andrew.
yeah, and thank you so much. We'll see you next week.